Today we will discuss an important theorem of Riemann integration. Riemann integral important theorem. This is fundamental theorem of integral calculus. If closed interval AB to R be integrable on closed interval AB, and 2. if possess an antiderivative phi on closed interval AB, then integration A to B f equal to phi of B minus phi of A. Before this theorem, discuss this theorem, we explain a definition. Antiderivative. What is antiderivative? The function phi is called antiderivative or primitive if phi dash x equal to f of x for all x belong to closed interval AB. Phi is called antiderivative if phi dash x equal to f of x for all x belong to closed interval A to B. That means differentiation of f is equal to phi. Then phi is called antiderivative. So let's start the proof. First, let a partition P. Let a partition P x0, x1, comma dot dot xn, where a equal to x0 greater than a less than x1 less than x2 dot dot less than xn, that equal to b. Then we consider the supremum and infimum in each interval, each sub interval. We consider supremum and infimum of f. Let small mr equal to infimum of f of x, whose interval, where x belong to x r minus 1, comma x r, where r equal to 1, 2 dot dot n. Similarly, we consider the supremum capital MR, supremum of f of x, where x belong to x r minus 1, comma x r, and where r equal to 1, 2 dot dot n. Here phi is antiderivative of f, so we can write phi dash x equal to f of x for all x belong to closed interval AB. So we see phi satisfy the Lagrange mean value theorem. What is the statement of Lagrange mean value theorem? Lagrange mean value theorem say if f is a function from closed interval AB to R be a function which satisfy the condition f is continuous on closed interval AB, and 2 f is differentiable on open interval a comma b, then f of b minus f of a equal to f dash xi into b minus a, where xi lies on a to b. This is the mean value theorem, Lagrange mean value theorem. And we see phi dash of x equal to f of x for all x closed interval AB. That means phi of x satisfies the differentiable condition on open interval AB, as well as phi satisfy the continuous condition. So here phi continuous on closed interval AB and phi differentiable on open interval AB. So we can apply the Lagrange mean value theorem in each sub interval. So by Lagrange mean value theorem, we can write compare with this statement, we can write phi of x r minus phi of x r minus 1 equal to phi dash xi into x r minus 1, where x r minus 1 less than xi less than x r, and r equal to 1, 2 dot dot n. That is phi dash xi, that means f of xi. So that is f of xi to x r minus x r minus 1 equal to phi of x r minus phi of x r minus 1. Now we take summation on both sides. Taking summation, sorry, here xi r, because it's changed in each interval, so xi r. Okay, xi r equal to 1 to n sum over equal to summation r equal to 1 to n phi of x r minus phi of x r minus 1. If we break this, then phi of x1 minus phi of x0, then put r equal to 2, then phi of x2 minus phi of x1, and so on. Lastly, phi of xn minus phi of xn minus 1. Here we see this finish, this finish. That is sorry, this is equal to phi of xn minus phi of x0, xn equal to b, x0 equal to a, that equal to phi of b minus phi of a. Now look this interval x r minus 1 comma xr. Here mr is the infimum value of f of x in this interval, and capital Mr is the supreme value of f of x in this interval. So and phi of xi of r is any value in this interval. So phi of xi r must be belong to small mr and capital Mr. Since small mr is the infimum value of f of x in this interval and capital Mr is supreme value of f of x in this interval, but f of xi r is the any value of in this interval, so this inequality satisfies. Here mr less equal to f of xi r less equal to capital Mr for r equal to 1, 2 dot n. Now we multiply each term in this inequality x r minus x r minus 1, and x r minus x r minus 1 is a positive term. If we multiply each term, then inequality does not change. So we multiply into x r minus x r minus 1 less equal to f of xi r into x r minus x r minus 1. less equal to capital MR into XR minus XR minus 1. Now we take the summation. Now we take the summation. R equal to 1 to n MR XR minus XR minus 1 less equal to summation R equal to 1 to n f of xi r into xr minus xr minus 1 less equal to mr xr minus xr minus 1. Now what is this? This is lower sum, lower Darboux sum. This is upper Darboux sum, and this is also equal to this phi of b minus phi of a. So we can write LPF lower Darboux sum or lower sum LPF less equal to, and this equal to phi of b minus phi of a, and this equal to upper sum UPF. And first we take partition P. What is arbitrary? Which is arbitrary? P is arbitrary, so it satisfies the for all partition on closed interval AB. First we take partition P, which is arbitrary, so this inequality satisfies the all partition of on closed interval AB. So for it satisfy for all partition belong to script P. This is the set of all partition on closed interval AB of F. This is the set of all partition on closed interval A comma B of F. Now we consider set. So set LPF. Okay. First we discuss then write. If I take the set LPF where P belong to so and here LPF less equal to phi of B minus phi of A for all P belong to script P. So we can say this is an upper bound. This is an upper bound of this set. This is an upper bound of this set. This is an upper bound of this set, and we know that this is the supremum of this set. We know this is the supremum of this set. That is, this is the least upper bound of this set, and this the any upper bound of this set. So we can write, we know least upper bound is less than any upper bound. So less equal to phi of B minus phi of A, and we write this here. So phi of B minus phi of a each is an upper bound of the set LPF such that P belong to okay, and since it is also called lower integral, and since the lower integral is supremum of this set, so we can write f less equal to phi of b minus phi of b, phi of b minus phi of a. Okay. Similarly, we can write phi of b minus phi of a less equal to upper bound upper integral. Similarly we can write phi of b minus phi of a less equal to upper integral, and here f is integrable. We know that if f is integrable, then lower integral equal to upper integral. So since f is integrable on closed interval ab, so lower integral equal to upper integral. Equal to upper integral. Equal to integration f, that is integration a to b f less equal to phi of b minus phi of a, and less equal to integration a to b f that is phi of b minus phi of a equal to integration a to b of f, and its proof complete. Okay, so first we take a partition P on closed interval AB, then we consider supremum and infimum on each sub interval, then we apply Lagrange mean value theorem and just some calculation, then we get a proof. Now we discuss an example. Let f be defined on closed interval minus 2 to 2 by f of x equal to 3x square cos pi by x square plus 2 pi into sin pi by x square if x not equal to 0 and equal to 0 if x equal to 0, so that f is integrable on closed interval minus 2 to 2, and evaluate this integration minus 2 to 2 of f. So first we prove f is integrable. First we prove f is integrable, and it's proved by a statement of theorem. We know if f bounded and continuous on closed interval AB except some finite number of point, then f is integrable. Here f is continuous, and we saw that f of x equal to this, and this function is continuous function. If x not equal to 0, then this is continuous, and the function is discontinuous only x equal to 0, finite number of point, only x equal to 0, the function is discontinuous. Here f is continuous on -2 to 2 except x equal to 0. So f is integrable. F is integrable on close interval -2 to 2. Now evaluate integration -2 to 2 f of x, and this is evaluated by the theorem, fundamental theorem. So first we construct a antiderivative of f of x. Let phi of x equal to x square, sorry, x cube cos pi by x square if x not equal to 0 and equal to 0 if x equal to 0. Let f of x equal to this. Then we prove phi of x is an antiderivative of f of x. So for x not equal to 0, f dash x equal to derivative this function x square cos pi by x square plus 2 pi sin pi by x square, which equal to f of x. Now we check at x equal to 0. We check x equal to 0. For x equal to 0, limit x tends to 0, phi of x minus phi of 0 by x minus 0. Which is a definition of derivative of phi of x at x equal to 0, equal to limit x equal to 0, phi of x equal to this, x tends to 0 but x not equal to 0 here. So f dash x equal to f of x equal to x cube cos pi by x square, f of 0 by x minus 0. x square cos pi by x square equal to 0. If we put the limiting value, then that equal to 0. And this is the definition of derivative of phi of x at x equal to 0. So this equal to f dash 0. That is f dash 0 equal to f of 0. So phi dash of x equal to f of x for all x belong to minus 2 to close interval minus 2 to 2. That is phi of x is an antiderivative of f of x on close interval minus 2 to 2. So by the fundamental theorem, fundamental theorem of integral calculus. So by the fundamental theorem of integral calculus, integration minus 2 to 2 f equal to phi of 2 minus phi of minus 2, and phi of x equal to x cube cos pi by x square. So put the value x equal to 2. 8 x cube হচ্ছে 8 cos pi by 4 minus minus 2 whole cube cos pi by 4 equal to 8 cos pi by 4 plus 8 cos pi by 4 is equal to 16 cos pi by 4 1 by root 2 equal to 8 root 2. So if have you any question, then ask me comment box.